Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. They call a podcast Poppy. Kinkos, I see they tryna copy. Diamonds in the chains, bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop whole game in the chokehold. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. What? Tell me something I don't know. What?
Hey everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you
trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Rudolph. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. Jordan Taylor, 56 yards. And the Lions are going to take a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And it's now a 7-0 game. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Let's go.
Brissett now on 2nd down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and pressure advantage.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it. And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races. I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Brissett. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Manti-Te'o in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A big play that time on the catch and run. The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rudolph. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Devontae Booker from 8 yards out. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
Yeah, the man out of the backfield gets in for the score.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. As we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So there you go. Like you predicted, they do get him involved, and he's got his first catch and a first down.
And what you need to do there is just put a check mark next to the circle with his name, with his number in it. Don't put the line through it. It's not done yet. That should be the first of many.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun. It's Brissett throwing the out route incomplete. That's Bryant. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. A second down throw for Brissett. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He completes it to Bryant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. So a minute 56 to play in this first half. Back to the booth right after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the season debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, in Orlando, as we look ahead to all the action coming up this opening weekend. And of course, we'll also take a look back at this first half. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Brissett sets to throw it, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. So second and goal there from the 1. They go to the air.
And the perfect down to throw the football in this sequence. Second down is always kind of the, do they throw it, do they run it? They worked it out to perfection on that one by throwing it into the end zone.
A nice little juke. Oh, look at the juke. And now running right through it. Gets through and now an opening. The 40, 30, 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Devontae Booker with what they'll score a 106-yard return. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Gostkowski for the point after. Gostkowski with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. What an absolutely electric return. 106 yards from end zone to end zone. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
That's so educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Brissett now. Over the middle to Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw, Brissett. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his running back, Alvin Kamara. And that'll bring up second down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. A second down throw for Brissett. He's got Smith here. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. On third down, Brissett. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar.
Circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On 1st and 10, Rudolph. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Rudolph on 1st down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, the timeout. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll get set to tangle with the Minnesota Vikings. Good stuff to follow on the West Coast in the afternoon window. One being out in Oakland, where it'll be the Raiders taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. And then finally, a good one on Sunday Night Football between the LA Rams and the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. He'll be dropped at the 30. With a shifty move, got him a couple extra on the play. Von Bell up to make the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They run a draw here on second down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Finding some room at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
And they'll run it here. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. And
touchdown, Detroit! Tanner Gabriel, 48 yards. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And his throw here is incomplete. Demetrius Harris, the intended target. 3rd down here. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Derek Wolfe coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Lions now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. Here's Rudolph. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Rudolph on first down. This is Booker on the dump off. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A very solid gain of 27. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back to the air, Rudolph. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Braxton Berrios, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions just continue to pour it on.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. As Ike went to ballet school, got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. Able to find Harris, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Let's go. What? 90.
Brissett to throw on 1st. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison. Coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
A second spin. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Well, not good at all. Punted just 24 yards there. And Detroit getting set to go now. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, Rudolph. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Rudolph. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A good pickup there of 22.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense...
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go! Ryan 38!
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Out of the gun, Brissett. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Brissett. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. Again, it's Brissett. Wide open receiver complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Come on, let's go!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Detroit, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll have a few extra days before they face the Rams next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.